we had a good workout today, not a great one. Same thing I told the players that we had the rain this morning. It was more humid than it has been. We'd been very fortunate. We hadn't had a lot of humidity, and so players were effective but not great. Full pads and all that, but we need to be tougher mentally and get more out of practice than we did. But we got some things accomplished. It wasn't bad, but we got to move faster. Our tempo was just average.
What have you noticed in the change from shorts to pads the last couple of days?
I think just the weight, and just like anything, you know, obviously your core body temperature goes up, and the extra 8 or 10 pounds on your body, and but they'll get adjusted to it. But it takes them a while, you know. Once they've been away from it since April, it takes them, you know, 3 or 4 padded practices to get used to it. But they always get adjusted to it as time goes on.
Like, it might not have been everything you hoped and dreamed of, but it seemed like a spirited practice out there tonight.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was good, not great. And we always communicate with our players and tell them the truth, and they know that. But you know, it's like the end of a game. You know, it's like fourth quarter. In the morning, like today, they start to get a little fatigued. They have to learn to push through it and fight through it, and that's just all part of developing chemistry as a football team.
Judging from your review, you've been stringing together a bunch of good practices. How soon before you expect to start stringing together a little more great?
Yeah, we had a couple practices ago I thought was really good, but you know, once we get into about the 8th or 9th, 10th practice or so, our guys ought to be up and rolling, and they're back at it, and they're practicing good, but they need to practice much better in order to play and start out at such a high level like where we finished last season.
What do you hope to get out of the scrimmage on Saturday?
Just basic stuff. I want guys to be in the right spot, want them to play hard, want the offensive guys to eliminate penalties and mistakes, and defensive guys to force turnovers, and just basic fundamentals, and just kind of see where we're at, find out where the quarterback's at. And I have a pretty good feel for most every other position. I understand where the young wideouts are at, and young corners, those guys that could very well play in the first game.
I know you had decided to make a concerted effort to be there last night. How was that for you to watch Pat go into the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame? Because someday, you know, you obviously will be making that same evening.
It was very entertaining, and Kristen and I drove down last night, and all the inductees were excellent. Their speeches, their talks, and very classy. Coach Switzer introduced Coach Jones, and it was very entertaining. And it was long. It was very long. But you know, it's their night. That's their time. When they're inducted into Hall of Fame, they can take as much time as they want. But you know, they talked about coaches being 40 minutes, but Coach Switzer's introduction was over 30. Between him and the guy that he brought in, I don't actually know how to pronounce what he is. Somebody does, but that guy was really good in imitating Coach Jones and Coach Switzer, and so it was very entertaining. But Selman, I believe it was Dewey, that got inducted last night. He very, very classy, and of course some of the guys, a couple of the guys that aren't with us now, and they had family members there, and so it was really, it's a great event. And I've been 2 years in a row now. Fortunately, we've had people that have gone in that are important to Oklahoma State football, and I will have to say that for the Thorpe and the Sports Hall of Fame, they do a great job, and it is a great event.
Wasn't really a surprise. What was your reaction to a brand new nickname from starters?
You know, I don't know a lot about NFL, and but I kind of guessed that if they took him in the first round and they were going to put that kind of money in him, that they were going to put him out there and start him. And so, and I'm sure that he's handled the situation very well, being there on time, and his leadership skills, and it's probably proven to them that he gives them the best chance to win games. So I hope things work out well for him. I know we have a lot of confidence in his ability.
When you look at a guy like Jonathan Rush, obviously losing him in the A&M game last year was a big blow, but having him back for that 6th year, is there a little bit of a silver lining in there, especially with what's happened recently with Bowie gone and that sort of thing?
Yeah, similar to Ori Lemon. Difficult when any player gets injured. One of the hardest things for a coach to take is to see a guy not be able to compete during the season, but Jonathan did a good job of staying in the program. He's worked out, and he's been a good leader for us.
I missed the first question. Was anything out there today that really stood out? Anything you saw? I like that.
I think that our linebackers continue to run well, make plays, and they're active, and that's exciting to me because I know how disruptive fast second-level players can be on an offense. Our practice, as I said, you came up on the end of it, was good, not great. Tempo was down a little bit, so we'll have to be better tomorrow.
Like, what area of this team would you say is a strength right now, and what area would you say I'm a little bit concerned about?
Oh, I think the second-level defenders are our strength. They run really well. We're mature at the corner position, and obviously, the quarterback. You're playing a quarterback that's never played in a game, so you always have concerns about a guy that's not competed at this level. But that's just part of the process of developing a young player.